Welcome to the Heal Yourself podcast, where we dive deep into all things healing. I'm Denise, a speech language pathologist and a self-love coach for adults and teens.
And I'm Kira, a traditional naturopath and functional nutritionist, and we are here to guide you through the transformative process of healing your body, mind, and soul.
From the latest in functional medicine to nurturing your relationship with yourself, healing trauma, and even transforming your money story, we're here to empower you with the knowledge and tools to create lasting change.
So whether you're looking to heal physically, emotionally, or spiritually, join us as we explore the many paths to wholeness and wellness.
Welcome to another episode of Heal Yourself podcast with Kira and Denise. And today we're talking about resolutions, New Year resolutions. Yeah.
Everyone's favorite thing.
Actually, I think it's everyone's favorite thing on December 31st and January 1st. And then screw that.
By mid-January, you're like, no, I'm over it.
Yeah. And that's why we have statistics for you. So according to a study by the University of Scranton, approximately 23% of people quit their resolutions within the first week.
So by the time you're listening to this, you've probably quit. Just saying. I mean,
that's a good one. And only 64% keep them past the first month. They may be part of the 64%.
That's a pretty sad statistic, though.
It is pretty sad. All right, there's more. So there's a fitness app called Strava, and they found that January 19th is often referred to as Quitter's Day. So basically, this is when many people abandon their resolutions. And by the end of the year, do you want to guess how the percentage of the number of the people who report that they were successful in keeping the resolutions by the end of the year? Just about a number.
I would have said 25 without knowing. I mean, I'm looking at the statistic right now.
Oh, you would have said 25. Oh, I know. I know she's looking.
I would have said 25.
You would have said 25.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's a very sad one. So it's only 9% to 12%. And this is of people that reported. And remember, they could be lying because we don't know.
True.
They reported that they were successful in keeping the resolutions for the whole year. So 9%.
That's pretty rough.
It's very rough. So we're going to discuss some points of like why. So the very first one is this is an all or nothing mentality, right? So like basically on, at the end, in December, like, oh my goodness, I'm eating everything and now I'm going to deprive myself, and that's all or nothing mentality. It creates more cravings and creates more deprivation. I believe it's more of a deprivation scarcity mentality with the all or nothing. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm even just looking at myself. I don't know about you, but back in the day when I set resolutions, it was always around health and it was always about weight loss, like back in my 20s. And so I'd be like, okay, I'm going to lose. And I don't even think it was necessarily losing weight, but it's like, I'm going to fit into a size 4 or it might not have even been that. I remember years where I'd be like, I'm going to give up all this food. I'm only going to eat healthy. And you're right. It's like, well, yeah, that's not going to happen. Like you're telling me I can never touch like a cookie again?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why a lot of people just, fall off the wagon because of no one can sustain the all or nothing mentality, no matter how perfect you are. I mean, there's nobody perfect, but you know what I mean? Like no one can sustain it. It's unsustainable.
Yeah.
And reason number 2 can be unrealistic big goals. Like we said, okay, basically, like you were saying, I'm going to drop it to size 4. And, like that is a big unrealistic goal. You cannot measure it. I mean, you can measure it type of thing, but then how long is it going to take you? Or we go from, like I said earlier, we go from eating so much shit to like, now I'm going to eat healthy. But how are you going to do that if you're going from eating, junk or eating processed foods? And that's what usually the majority of the people with the weight loss and stuff like that, January 1st comes and I'm going to eat only healthy.
Yeah. And so it's funny, I actually saw somebody post on Facebook today, and I don't remember what her whole post was, but it was about her resolution. It was like, I'm going to lose 30 pounds and I'm going to keep it off all year. But I'm thinking, okay, but how are you going to get there? Like, it's not un undoable. Is that a word?
Yeah, I
Like
think it is.
you can
No,
totally lose
yeah.
30 pounds depending on how big you are, right? But like I don't know if that's realistic for you. You know what I mean? Have you tried 30 other times? Yeah.
Yeah. Or I mean, it doesn't have to be just around health and weight. Some people be like, I'm not gonna, touch social media, even though it has worked with me. But I mean, I still check it on the computer now, but or it could be like, it could be around finances. I'm gonna save this and that. Like I feel like with the New Year resolution, it's always like you're going from, you know,
A to
do
Z. This is
yeah,
my year. I'm
exactly.
gonna make $1 million when last year you made like 20,000.
Right, right. Exactly, exactly. Like, how are you going to get there? So I feel like we put too many big goals that are just, and there's no guidance to achieve them.
Yeah.
And then a third reason could be ignoring the root cause when you're setting goals. So, for example, if every year your New Year resolution is to lose the weight or the weight loss, like, why hasn't it worked?
Yeah.
Is there something different? Like, is there something deeper than that you kind of need to address? That's why it's not working. Or for example, let's say with the savings, is it every year that you're gonna say that you're gonna save this and you never do, but you get yourself in more, I don't know, whatever, like financial trouble? Whatever the goal is, like if you keep setting the same New Year's resolution goal and you're not even getting to the year, you need to kind of look at the root cause, like why this is not working.
Yeah. No, I
Anything else you want
100%.
to add about that?
No, I just agree. And you could look at it, like you said, from every aspect. I use health just because literally that's what most people go to. Like, I'm sure there's a
Correct.
statistic on that too, but like, even from a business standpoint, like anything, you're right. If that's your goal every single year, then I'm not going to say find a new goal, but dig into why that goal's not happening.
Right. That's what I said. Discover the root cause. Like, why is it not happening? Why do I keep, not being able to achieve whatever New Year resolution?
Yeah.
What else do you have for us that might be the cause of, Quitter's
Yeah.
Day?
So I think also a piece of it is it's not in line with your identity. So let's say that, again, we'll use weight loss, and guys, you could plug anything in here, right? But let's say that weight loss is your goal. This kind of goes back to the root cause. If you have always viewed yourself as someone who is overweight, who's not worthy of being thin, who doesn't find themselves beautiful, who doesn't value and love and honor themselves, your identity is not one of a fit, thin person, right? You've got to change at that identity level. Same thing, again, you could plug in business here. If you don't think you're worthy of charging, and yet you're saying you want to have $1 million year, how are you going to get there? Your identity is one of a poor person. So you have to be looking at things through a deeper lens.
Yeah, I know.
And
Every
that
time,
takes,
like, every time we have episodes for you, we always tell you, look deep through the
it's true
because
though.
that's so true. That is so true. I mean, we have gone through it and we still go through it. And it's all about reflecting. Earlier, right now, we're just talking about something and, we got to go back and, why is this happening?
Yeah, yeah.
Next.
Um, Also not in line with your values. So this is something I take my clients through, in fact, and we talk through values, or at least they dig into their values. And let's say again, your value for, or not your value, but your resolution this year is to get healthy, whatever the hell that looks like to you, right? But if health is not one of your top values, you're never going to get there. You have to value what it is that you're after. Just like one of my mentors once had us do this activity, but I was doing it more from a business lens, and abundance and money weren't in there. It was like health is the top value, family's the top value, travel's the top value, freedom's the top value. And those are fine. Those are still my top values. But he made it very clear that to run a successful business, abundance, wealth, money, something like that has to be in there. And so if your value does not match up with what you're trying to achieve, you're not going to make it. You have to prioritize that as a value. Therefore, you're not going to backtrack, right? Like health is a top value of mine. It's up there
Yes.
always. Therefore, every choice that I make during the day is in line with health. Am I going for a walk? Am I moving my body? Am I eating healthy? Am I pairing carbs at the end of my meal. Like, am I blocking blue light? I could go through the list, but it just naturally comes because I value health.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Okay.
Yeah, it does perfect sense because once you have your values, you're making the choices and you have the priorities around
Mhm.
those values. And it's easier. I mean, I don't like to use the word easier, but I am going to use it. So once you have your values, it's easier to know what your priorities are and hence they will guide your choices. So yeah, absolutely. It makes total sense.
Yeah. Well, and then let's be real. People like
Mm.
to Amazon Prime their results. Right? That's
Did
the
you know that right now they have like you order at night and you get it at 4 a.m. in the morning?
yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's
So
insane.
it's not even a day anymore. It's
No,
like
I know.
hours.
It's
Yeah,
like it's convenient, but at the same time, it's like the downfall of our society because we
that's
just
true.
want everything like now,
Yep.
like
Yep.
yesterday.
I
And that's
know.
the thing. Like some of these results aren't going to be immediate. So the people that are like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds and I'm going to keep it off, but you haven't lost 10 pounds by what is it, January 19th, the quitter's day? You're probably not going to lose 10 pounds by January 19th. Like, you're not going to get immediate results. And that's the thing. People just let it go. You can't expect immediate results. You have 365 days. Your resolution should not just be for January. It should be by December 31st.
That's right. That's right. But because we are so antsy, we want it to get done in like 2 months or like
Yeah.
not even 2 months. It's the 19th. People are so they want to wait until like the 19th. That's it. Like 19
Yeah.
days, not even a month. And you're absolutely right. The year is 365 days, not 19 days.
Yeah. Well, and we want to give you guys some steps to take, right? Like, I'm not saying that these are the only things or you have to go in this order, but if you're someone that's been setting resolutions every year and you're like, oh, damn, yeah, most of those I don't stick with or I don't achieve,
Hmm.
then we've got something for you. So, first, focus on the being. This goes back to the identity level. Who do you need to be in order to get those results? And that also goes back to values. Again, I'm going to use health here, but let's say that you want to lose 25 pounds this year. Who do you need to be? Do you need to be
Hmm.
the person that wakes up in the morning and goes for a walk? Do you need to be the person that hydrates first thing in the morning? Do you need to be the person that gets 25 to 30 grams of protein first? Like, who the hell do you need to be?
Yeah.
Right?
Who
That's,
am I when I have lost that weight and act
yes,
and just portray yourself in with that person? Because that
yes.
person that lost the weight, what does she do? What
Mhm.
does she say? What does she eat?
Yeah. How does she
You
show up
know,
in the world? How
how
does
does
she
she
wake
show
up
up
in the
that?
morning?
Yep, yep. And
Yeah.
that can be your guide.
hmm And
Yep.
focus on those emotions. So I'll throw in business, and I know there's a million other goals you could have, but those are just the two that come to my head. But like when I think about myself and my business, if I'm being the person that I want to look like, however long from now, whatever that looks like, I'm waking up in the morning and I'm not scrolling social media. I'm waking up in the morning and I have a morning routine. I'm waking up and I'm actually getting ready. Like the process of getting ready and still doing hair and makeup, even though I might be in my pajamas, guys, that just makes me feel like I'm a successful business owner. So I'm stepping into that being versus, oh, well, that'll happen when I'm successful. We don't do the whole
Mm-mm.
when I am,
Mm-mm.
it's now. You do that today.
Yes, yes.
And then another one for me, I always hated SMART goals. They just sounded so cheesy, but at the same time, like I understand why they're there. You need those
Hmm.
small actionable steps. Like you want to lose 20 pounds and you've had that on your goal sheet for the last 6 years. Okay, but what steps are you taking to get there? And when we say small steps, it's not saying I'm cutting out all sugar for the next 45 days. Okay, well, maybe we could just cut back. Like, how much sugar are you actually eating right now? If you wake up and you
Hmm.
put 5 tablespoons of coffee creamer in your coffee, maybe one small step is cutting back to one. Like,
I love that. I love the cutting back. I love it, love it, love it. If you're
yeah.
eating two, chocolate bars, just have one.
I mean, and seriously though, the coffee thing, like, if you are doing 5 and you say, I'm not going to do any, your coffee's going to taste like shit to you. So maybe it's 3 and then you scale back. So like, you need these baby steps to
Absolutely.
take because that's what's going to lead to the big results. Rome wasn't built in one day, and it's the same thing when we're looking at resolutions.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, like forget about Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is there to get your shit that you need ready, but your life and your health, I mean, your life in general with all the aspects is not Amazon Prime. It's there
Yeah.
to enjoy. And I'm really loving that book by Matthew Kelly, Slowing Down to the Speed of Joy. Joy
Mm,
does not rush, joy does not hurry, joy does not get antsy. So it's really important to just, your life is not Amazon Prime.
yeah.
Another thing that you can do is target the root cause.
I love
So
it. You
if
sound
you
like a
keep,
broken record, but I need to
I
hear
know,
it.
I know, I am. My kids tell me that all the time. But anyway, if you keep repelling opportunities that now I'm going to give an example of business right now, right? Because we've been doing a lot of health and weight loss. Why is that? Do you think you don't deserve it? Do you keep telling yourself I'm not good enough? If you keep telling yourself I'm not good enough, that contract or the business opportunity or that client, they're gonna
You're not
feel
good
that,
enough.
right? You're not good enough. They're gonna be like, well, she's not good enough. So it's because remember, we've talked about it too. It is energy. We had several episodes about energy, and everything is energy. So address that. If we're saying I'm not good enough, you can't expect to make $1 million a year at the end of the day if this is your goal, right? Or for example, remember the leaky gut equal leaky boundaries.
Yeah.
Yes, you want to target the leaky gut. You googled everything and you have leaky gut. Great. So now I'm going to address it. But
Thanks for calling me out on the boundaries piece, by the way. No, just kidding.
there we go. However, great, great. But we targeted leaky gut. We did all the supplements that we needed. We were kind of like, getting, but if we keep leaking the boundaries, what's going to happen? The leaky gut is going to come back.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why it's really, really, really important again to dig deep and look within evaluate your identity and your values and your priorities because you're gonna, figure out the next step of
Yeah.
addressing the root cause.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Another one that I really love is setting intentions. I set daily intentions. Setting daily intentions it can be literally as simple. You do not need a whole journal. You do not need a whole essay. It could be as simple as I intend to do one task at a time. Okay. Because it's not, because, I know you and I multitask a lot. So I even have it here as a sticky note too. I intend to do one task at a time, to focus on one task at a time. Or I intend to, if you are this person who reacts right away, does not take a deep breath, does not pause for a second before responding. Your intention can be for that day. My intention is to take a deep breath before I respond or before I whatever. Now, if you'd like to journal that, great. But setting intentions can be as simple as just saying it out loud really quickly and holding on to that intention for the whole day.
Yeah.
So that's why small steps. So one intention, not 500 where they're going to get lost. Like if you have one intention, you're single focused, that's it. I'm intending to be calm today, right? And not to cuss at everybody on the road. Because,
I
why the
know.
heck are you going so slow?
Um, I've got two, and Denise is going to chime in on these because they're struggles for me. So one of them is a vision board, and Denise actually sent me something yesterday, and I was like, this is beautiful, but I struggle with dreaming big. And that's just, I don't know. Like, I could play and I could dream big as a kid. And then it's like life hit me, and I was like, oh my gosh, well, I can't dream about those things. Like, that's childhood. But in reality, we should be creating these grand vision boards. So I know this might sound counterintuitive of like, you just told me I can't like make $1 million if I made 20,000 last year. But at the same time, there's something so powerful about dreaming big and letting go and having these grand vision boards. Now, again, maybe not going from 20,000 to 1 million next year, but like have all of these things that you're dreaming up because that is what brings you the joy, right? You've got something that you're shooting for. And if you're implementing those small actionable steps we talked about and everything else, then you're going to hit several of those things versus just one thing. I'm going to have the best health in the world this year, or I'm going to create this $1 million business. Okay, but can you have a bunch of other little things that you're dreaming about too?
Absolutely. And the thing is, I get it. It's the thing is with this one, playing and dreaming big, it's more of like targeting it from the child
Mm.
like, remember? Because we definitely, we don't want to take everything so seriously and like, I'm so serious, everything's so serious. Like, you do want to play and dream big, absolutely. But also, what's guiding you, I get it, right? You said the whole $1 million, I only made 20,000, right? However, playing big, I'm sorry, dreaming big and just playing around with it also might help you to take bigger actionable
Yeah.
steps, right? Steps that are out of your comfort zone. I think the dreaming big will also help you to step out of the comfort zone versus staying inside that box,
Yeah. Totally
you
agree.
know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we just stay too much in the box. We don't know what's out there.
Yeah, we don't.
Versus it could be just as simple as, and again, I really do believe that. I believe it, I've experienced it, I've seen it, and the Course in Miracles talk about it. Even Jesus said it. There's no order of difficulties in miracles,
Hmm.
right? So you keep dreaming big. However, but you also, the thing is not just dreaming big and sitting on the couch. That's the thing, being a couch potato and munching on chips and, peanuts all day, right? It's like dreaming big, but also putting yourself out there for
Yeah.
those big dreams to come true. And they're not going to come true while you're sitting on the couch, right? The
Yeah.
$1 million or the 50-pound weight loss or the $50,000 in savings or the paying off that. I'm trying to give examples from all walks of life, or the relationship. Some people
Yeah.
need a relationship. Some people want a baby, right? All of those are not going to happen if you stay small,
Yeah. Yeah.
so kind of like expand and go back to being a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
The other one I struggle with, but this is a powerful one, is letting go of how it's going to happen. So we're not saying like, hey, just completely ignore it and don't create those action steps, just sit on the couch. Like, it's the opposite. It's taking the steps, it's doing the things, it's being the person, but it's basically letting go of the outcome and stopping the worry, right? What you focus on grows. And I know we've talked about that in another episode, but it's so true because that's where your attention is. So the only thing you're focusing on every day is like, I have to lose this weight. I have to build this business. I have to sign this client. I have to do this. I have to do that. You're just creating more of that worry and you're just spiraling. Put the pieces in place that you need to have, be the person that you need to show up as, have that identity, set the values, take the steps, and let go. And easier said than done because that is
yeah.
an ongoing freaking battle for me. But let me tell you, your life becomes so much more joyful and peaceful when you can let
Right.
it go.
Right. Letting go of the how is really
Hmm.
important because that goal that you want can be achieved in so many other hows. But then sometimes what happens is we get so stuck on this how that we forget the other hows. And then sometimes what happens is the other hows, we miss the other hows, we miss the other things because we are so stuck on making this goal through this road. And
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't work that way. You got sometimes maybe the other road is better. Maybe the windy road is better for you, right? Or maybe
Yeah.
the road that's full of obstacles is better for you than going to achieve that. So that's why we're saying set the goals, dream big, do all that, take the actionable steps, do it with intentions. But the how, don't focus too much on it.
Yeah. Because,
Because it could be like the $1 million could be from, I don't know, you got an inheritance maybe, or you could sign 500 clients at once.
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
no, but it's so true because and then relationships. Like you could be so focused, well, this is the one relationship because I'm getting older and I have to do this, but your dream partner is one away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many
Exactly.
pieces that go into it, and I know you and I have seen that in our lives in so many different aspects. Let go of that how and just trust that it's coming.
Absolutely. Exactly. Trust that it's coming and it does not have to be coming the way that you want it to be.
Yes.
Because sometimes it comes way, way, way more beautiful when you literally let go of the how.
Yeah.
But please don't mistaken from letting go of the how of like not doing anything. No, we're still
Mm-hmm.
saying take actionable steps, take inspired steps that are related, that are aligned with your identity, that are aligned with your values. You're not going to achieve anything if you're on the couch, if you're a couch potato and watching Netflix and chilling literally all day, right? Yes, there's Netflix and chill that, when we're resting and we've done whatever. But if this is all you do, I
Yeah.
mean,
You've just do all this stuff, but then let go of the attachment around how it's coming And I
Yes.
would even say let go of the attachment of if it comes, because maybe that's coming next year in 2026. So still
Correct.
keep working towards it, but stop trying to force shit. You're like, yeah.
Surrender. And that's the beauty of surrendering,
Yeah.
literally, really. And another one that's kind of like an FYI is let's stop waiting to Monday. Wait till the next month. Okay, next month, next year, next Monday. I'm doing it next Monday. Just start today.
Well, and
Start
that's what
today.
cracks me
Start
up
right
about
now.
resolutions. Well, January 1st. I'm like, well, why didn't you start it on December 16th when you had the idea?
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, your life is, and that's what we always miss. We always miss the now because we're so occupied with yesterday and with the tomorrow. And
Mhm.
then yesterday is already gone. Tomorrow's not even here.
Yep.
And we're ignoring the now, which
Just do
is
it
the
now.
present.
Yeah.
And not just the present. I'm talking like past, present, future. The present, it's a gift.
Hmm.
So that's why it's important to just start today. So if you have the idea, start on December 16th. Don't start on January 1st. Start your resolution or whatever you want to call it early.
Yeah. Start working on being who you need to be like now, as soon as you
Yeah,
stop listening to us.
exactly. And anything else that you want to add?
No, just keep at it, you guys, and message us, right? We love your
Yeah.
feedback. Shoot us
And
a
be
message
gentle with
on,
yourself.
yes, shoot us a message on Instagram. Um, yeah, especially if you
Yeah,
want us to dive into anything more.
of course. Yes. And please share this episode with at least one friend that might benefit. Rate the podcast. We definitely love to hear from you. And like Kira said, we love to hear your feedback. And if there's anything else you want us to talk about, we're here. Bye bye.